The transmission came through in a burst of static, fragmented but clear enough to send shivers down Captain Elena Voss's spine. The message wasn't addressed to her directly, it was broadcast across all frequencies, an open declaration that echoed into the void of space, like a challenge screamed into the wind. To the inhabitants of Earth, you have trespassed upon our domain. Your presence here is unacceptable. By entering this system, you have declared war. Prepare yourselves. Elena stared at the glowing screen on the bridge of the SS Invincible, humanity's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. Her crew sat frozen around her, their faces pale as they processed the words. No one spoke for several seconds. Then Lieutenant Marcus Kane broke the silence. "Well," he muttered, leaning back in his chair with a wry grin, "I guess we're not alone anymore." Elena shot him a sharp look, but she couldn't suppress the flicker of amusement, tugging, at the corner of her mouth. Humanity had spent centuries wondering if alien life existed, and now, apparently, they'd pissed it off within minutes of making contact. "Analysis?" she asked, turning to Dr. Priya Nair, the ship's xenobiologist and communications officer. Priya adjusted her glasses, her fingers flying over her console. "The signal originated from somewhere near Proxima Centauri 3. It's sophisticated, not just technologically, but linguistically. They used basic mathematical patterns to ensure comprehension, then layered more complex syntax over time. Whoever sent this wanted us to understand every word." "And what about the domain part?" Marcus interjected, raising an eyebrow. "Sounds territorial." "It does," Priya agreed, frowning. "Based on preliminary scans, there's no sign of artificial structures or infrastructure near the planet. But these beings could be using technology beyond our detection capabilities. Or maybe they consider the entire star system their territory." Elena leaned forward, resting her elbows on the command console. "So, let me get this straight. We've traveled 26 light-years to explore a potentially habitable exoplanet, and now some unknown species has decided we're invaders and declared war?" "That seems to be the gist of it," Priya said dryly. Marcus chuckled darkly. "Guess we'll find out soon enough. If they're half as lethal as their message implies, we're in for one hell of a fight." 3 hours later, the first attack came without warning. The Invincible shuddered violently as something slammed into its shields. Alarms blared across the bridge, red lights flashing in sync with the cacophony. Elena gripped the edge of her seat as the ship rocked again, throwing her slightly off balance. "What the hell is hitting us?" she demanded. "Unknown object!" shouted Ensign Carter, the tactical officer. "It's small, maybe 10 meters across, but moving at incredible speeds. It's impacting our shields repeatedly, testing weaknesses." "Raise shields to maximum," Elena ordered. "Divert auxiliary power from non-essential systems and launch a probe. Let's see what we're dealing with." A drone deployed from the belly of the ship, its cameras capturing footage of the mysterious assailant. On the main view screen, the image resolved into focus, a sleek, organic-looking craft, resembling a cross between a manta ray and a shark. Its surface shimmered with iridescent colors, shifting unpredictably as though alive. "They're bioengineering their ships?" Priya whispered, awestruck. "That's unprecedented." Before anyone could respond, another impact rocked the Invincible. This time, the shields flared dangerously close to failure. "They're targeting specific frequencies," Carter reported. "Adapting to our shield modulation patterns. If we don't change tactics, they'll breach us in under 2 minutes." Elena clenched her jaw. "Switch to randomized frequency shifts. Fire plasma torpedoes, wide dispersal pattern. Let's see how they handle a little chaos." The order was executed swiftly. Torpedoes streaked outward, detonating in a brilliant cascade of energy. For a moment, it seemed the tactic had worked. The alien craft darted erratically, avoiding the worst of the explosions. But then, impossibly, it split apart. "No," Priya breathed. Dozens of smaller drones detached from the main vessel, each one accelerating toward the Invincible like angry hornets. They swarmed the human ship, striking from multiple angles simultaneously. Shields flickered, holding by a thread. "We can't keep this up," Marcus growled, gripping the edge of his station. "We need reinforcements, or a miracle." Elena's mind raced. Reinforcements were light years away, and miracles weren't exactly reliable. She glanced at Priya, who was frantically analyzing data from the battle. "Any insights?" Elena asked. Priya hesitated, then nodded. "Their movements, they're coordinated, almost hive-like. I think they're communicating via electromagnetic pulses. If we can disrupt those signals, do it!" Elena commanded. "Jam everything you can!" Within moments, the ship's communications array began broadcasting interference across the EM spectrum. The swarm faltered, their attacks growing less precise. One by one, the drones slowed, drifting aimlessly until they collided with each other or floated harmlessly away. The bridge crew erupted into cheers, but Elena silenced them with a raised hand. "This isn't over," she said grimly. "Not by a long shot." Hours turned into days as the Invincible limped toward Proxima Centauri III, its hull scarred and systems strained. Scans revealed the planet below teemed with activity. Massive structures buried beneath the surface, sprawling networks of tunnels, and strange bioluminescent organisms that glowed faintly in the twilight zone where sunlight barely reached. "They're adapting," Priya murmured during a briefing. "Every encounter, they learn faster. Their tech evolves mid-battle. It's like fighting an entire ecosystem instead of a single enemy. And yet," Marcus added, leaning forward, "we're still standing. Against all odds, humanity keeps finding ways to survive. That's what makes us dangerous." Elena nodded slowly. "Exactly. We adapt, too. We innovate. We fight smarter. Whatever these creatures are, they underestimated us. Now it's time to show them why humans are called the most lethal species alive." When the final assault came, it was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Thousands of biomechanical drones rose from the planet's surface, forming a colossal cloud that blotted out the stars. The Invincible stood alone against the horde, its weapons blazing, its crew united in purpose. As the battle raged, Elena made a decision. Using the ship's experimental gravity well generator, she created a massive singularity at the heart of the swarm. The resulting implosion consumed hundreds of drones, buying precious time for the crew to execute their escape plan. But even as the Invincible fled the system, Elena knew this was only the beginning. Humanity had declared itself a force to be reckoned with, a species capable of standing toe-to-toe with the unknown and emerging victorious. Far above the alien world, the last transmission from the Invincible echoed through the cosmos. "To whoever you are, you picked the wrong species to mess with. Humanity, fuck yeah."